Good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be, or good evening, or good night. This is Jen at Jen's Arty Inclinations, a place to create, share, and play. Hello everyone. Ephemerembra is hosted by Louise Heinzel and also by Barbara over at 49 Dragonflies. And today's prompt is snippet roll and woven flowers. Alrighty, so I have woven these two pieces ahead of time. And you can see I've done some paper weaving and some string weaving. I'll just kind of explain roughly what I did. You would have been very bored waiting for me to finish these pieces. So I will just explain the process. They're actually unrolled paper bag handles. So you can see here I've got the top of a paper bag. So I get the paper bags and I just rip off the handle part, just like this. And I mean, you can keep these pieces of paper that you use. I do let myself throw this out because I use almost all of the rest of the bag. So just pop that one in the bin. Very good of me. And then I see this whole bunch of them that I keep together. And all you do is you untwist them. Hello, kitty cat. So kitty cat's just interrupting me here. So it can, takes a little bit of time. Sometimes it's easier if you just cut the ends off and then all you do is you unwind them. These particular ones have two pieces that are wound together. Sometimes it's just one, it depends upon where you're getting it from. These are just recycled bags. So this is from our local supermarket. One of my sons has a fascination with going to the supermarket. So we end up with lots and lots of bags. So as you can see, I'm speeding up this little bit for you because, it can take a fair while to unwind the bags. But then when you unwind them, you get this fantastic, crinkly looking strip of paper, which I do really, really love. So here's the second piece that I'm just finishing unrolling it. And then I kind of flatten them a bit using my scissors, rather like you do with curling ribbon, except this time I'm using them to straighten them a little bit. All right, so they're the two pieces from that handle. Then what I did was I cut strips lengthways, just like this, but I didn't snip it all the way through the top. So joined in the top, and then that just helped give me a bit of a weaving base that I could manipulate in my hands. I'm an ex-macrame fibre artist, or I still do macrame, so I do find this a bit easy to hold in my hands, but you can tape that down, to your table or a surface if you need to, and then you've got two hands to work with the loose pieces. But then I just did basic weave, over and under, over and under. And with the string, I just rounded it back on itself. So you'll see that I do that here. Just a little bit of manipulating to, push it up to the top. Once you get down a few rows, it tends to hold itself. So it gets easier the further down you go. So it's over and under on one pass across, and then on the way back, it's under and over, under and over. So it's kind of like, I guess, a mini loom, I just am amazed at how much I love the look of the string. Now, the string is just a basic cotton string. It's 2-ply, or could be 3-ply. It is the kind of string that you get in discount shops like $2 shops, newsagents, supermarkets, wherever you get. And this white cotton string is often quite wonderful because it lays really nice and flat, and, the cotton fibres look gorgeous with the pages. So when I finished it off, I would just pop the string through the back, and I was just gluing that because, it's going to sit down in a journal. So that's all I did with those. That was on 3 prongs, and this one that I just showed you was on 5. If I kept going, you'd get that same effect. So then I also cut off some long strips of paper, and I used them to weave as well. So exactly the same. Now, of course, the paper's not round, it's flat, So it's a little bit hard when you're passing it back through. So you kind of have to, jiggle it about, give it a bit of a play and, shove it a bit here and there. You got to be kind of gentle but firm, much like much of our lives, right? But it does work, and you can just keep folding it back on itself to get the weaving effect. And it gives you a completely different look. So that's one of the nice things with weaving, is weaving with different materials. And same with the paper, I just glued them down on the back. And, it's hard to see which is the back, but you can see here I've glued it there. I've glued the paper and the strings, and I've tucked them in underneath the upper strings, and they've held quite well. Now here I've cut out these motifs from this cloth, and it's really got loads of texture in it, this cloth. So this is my woven flowers that I thought I'd use, and I wasn't sure which bits I'd use, but I liked the fact that there was a little bit of colour, but they still had the brown contrasts. Oh yes, the thicker one, same principle, it's 2 strands that I'm weaving through, and I just wove through short pieces, and I did actually just glue each of them down, just with one little dot of glue on each one all the way down, and just enough to hold them, because I knew I'd be doing something to them later. So then I put them both together, and I put my little flowers on top. And then I had a little play. I thought, well, it is supposed to be a snippet roll, so I thought I'd add a whole heap of labels onto it. And I love the dimension that this added to it, so I inked around the edges of all of them. And then I also decided that I'd fancy schmancy up the big base layer. So what I'm doing here is, in my splatter box, I'm doing splatters and spritzers and all sorts of things with ink dyes and, glitter lindy things and all different pieces. So dried all that off, had a lovely messy play, and stuck all my labels on. I just glued them. And then what I did was I sewed through all the labels, and I love that look. It just adds even more texture. Then I got my top piece and I sewed through it separately through the flowers, and then I attached it on either end of this snippet roll. Finally, what I did was I actually grabbed my whole book and I sewed down the middle. So you'll see that the only way this is attached to the book is in the middle. And my idea is that these could end up being simple pages. Here I'm just, snipping off all the threads from the machine. But here they could be little extra pages in the book, like just an interesting snippet. I could put something on the back of them. Or they can be tucks. They can be a bit of a double pocket. Lots of different options here, so I thought I wouldn't commit myself at this point, because who knows what Defemerember brings. I just love the creativity of this collaboration. I love watching everyone's videos. I haven't had a chance to comment much yet because it's so busy here, and I am recording a little bit ahead of time to try and, keep up, which is kind of funny. It's probably extra prepared. Well, no, not really. I'm thinking because here in Australia, we come out a day earlier than on the other side of the pond, but we're still doing it on the same day, just the same day our time. Not over the pond time. But yeah, anyway, I'm trying to keep up. I'm loving watching everyone's videos. Thank you everyone who contributes. Defemerember is such a great open collaboration. Anyone can join in. Make sure you use the hashtag so we can see your stuff. And don't forget to check out Louise and Barbara's links below in the description. And so you can go and see their videos and download the prompts and have some fun too. Enjoy! I'd love it if you could leave me a comment below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw today. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. And in the meantime, keep creating. Enjoy!